Hey everybody, it's Karen with Food and Family. Do you like sweet rolls for breakfast? Do you like orange juice for breakfast? We do. So I decided to put the two together and make an orange roll biscuit. It's like a cinnamon roll, but it has no cinnamon in it. Has orange juice, orange marmalade, brown sugar, all the good stuff. So let's get started and I'm going to show you how I make mine. I've got my oven preheating to 425 degrees. So when we get ready to put them in, it's going to be ready when we are. So we're going to start with 2 cups of self-rising flour. Self-rising is what I use. If you want to use plain, you can. Just remember to put baking powder in. And I'm using 2 cups. That makes about a dozen, and that's plenty for me and him. So if you do what I do, then you'll need about a tablespoon of baking powder. I'm using regular milk. If you want to use buttermilk, I would suggest putting a little bit of baking soda in there, and it reacts with the baking soda reacts with the buttermilk. So it's just going to give us a good fluffy biscuit. So I'm just going to run my fork. I have a blending fork instead of a regular pastry blender. Next, I'm going to put a pinch of salt because we're going to have some sweets. We need to counteract all the sweetness. 2 tablespoons of sugar. Now I am going to put a teaspoon of active yeast. And you don't have to let it rise. It's not going to have to sit and rise. But it just, I don't know, to me it just makes them a little fluffier. So I'm going to stir that up, just kind of get it all incorporated. And I've got a good couple of heaping tablespoons of solid shortening. And I'm going to mix the shortening in, blend it in with the flour, just kind of make it pea size. And you can use butter if you want to. I like shortening. I think it makes the fluffier biscuit. So, still using our fork, we're going to add, I've got I've actually got a cup of milk, but we're going to use anywhere between the full cup and 3/4. So I'm going to start with about 3/4 of this milk. And you don't want it too wet. You want it thick, more on the dry side, but not like flour dry. But you don't want it too wet. If you want a little more orange taste, you can add about a teaspoon of orange extract to it. Now see how I've got my dough, it's not real dried out, but it's still moist. But see how thick it is? So let's clear the deck and we're going to roll this out on our board. So I'm just going to use my sifter and put a little flour down. Let's dump this out. So we're going to kind of just knead it around 3 or 4 times. It don't take much. It's all mixed up. Just get it good and soft and pull together. It's not crackly anymore, which is what you want when you're stirring it together. Make sure our board has plenty of flour, because we're going to roll it out. Okay, and I've got my rolling pin. Now I want to, let's don't do that. Put a little bit right here. I'm going to flour my rolling pin. Now what I want to do is roll it out into a rectangle. And I want my rectangle to be about 12 inches long and about 8 inches wide this way. And it's going to be about 1/4 of an inch thick. I have a ruler that I'll measure it by, or measure it with, and then I'll go from there and see where I need to adjust. Boy, this looks good. Okay, so take my ruler Now it is just a smidge over 12 inches, but we're going to straighten up these corners and not have them so rounded, and the sides. And it is 8 inches wide, like I said. 1/4 inch thick. So what we're going to do from here, let's put a little more flour on the top, just kind of spread it around. Just now I'm going to spread this butter. This already had butter on it from earlier when I was cooking, so I just reused it. Spread it out real good. So now what we want to do is, I've got some orange marmalade. I didn't get a spoon. Let me get a spoon. And we're going to drop, I think about 4, I want to put about 4 tablespoons of orange marmalade on here. Just plop it out. It could be a little more, could be a little less. Let's just spread it out and we'll see. Take my offset spatula and just spread it around on top of that butter. Now we've got some brown sugar, and I think what I'm going to do, I wrote in my recipe to use about 3 tablespoons, but I'm just going to kind of eyeball it and spread it out, sprinkle it with my hands. You don't want a whole lot. It's just going to melt and run out if you do. You just want enough to make it taste good. Okay, so I'm going to start on the end, the furthest away from me. Can you see? And I'm going to start rolling it. Roll it as tight as you can towards you. Kind of pushing it back in here so it stays tight. And just keep rolling till you get to the end. Kind of try to keep it as even as you can. Sometimes the ends get a little, they want to get a little wonky, but you know what? It's all good. When I get close to the end, then I just take the ends, bring them up, and pinch it. And that marmalade has got this dough so soft. Look at there. I'm just going to pinch it together, and if a little seeps out like it did there, it's no problem. It is all good. It's going to bake up delicious. Now look at there. So I've got one big roll. Now what I want to do is I'm going to put a little more flour so I can roll this over. Look at there. Same side down. Now this way when I cut it, it'll come up off my board. So I've got a 1/4 sheet pan. You can use a glass baking dish, whatever you want. I'm going to spray it. Don't hold it over the floor, because if you get it on the floor, you could fall. You step in it and you could slide and fall. So grab my knife, good sharp knife. You see what I'm doing here? And I'm going to cut it in half. Don't mash it, just kind of saw it a little bit. Then I'm going to cut each half in half. I'm so good at math. And then I've got 4 pieces. Then I'm going to cut each of these 4 pieces into 3 pieces. Then I'll have a total of 12. See, I told you I was good at math. And looky there. See that roll? Looky there, how pretty. Now we're going to put them on our pan. We're going to put them 3 across and 4 down. And when they bake, they're going to bake together, and they'll rise up a little bit. And they're gonna be beautiful and they're gonna be delicious. This is, I'm so happy. Look here, I can't wait to get these all baked up. Look at how pretty that is. You see that? Now, we're gonna put this in the oven at 425. I've got my oven preheated, as I told you. I'm gonna bake them at 425 for 20 minutes until they're golden. And then after we take them out of the oven, we're going to make an orange glaze to go over it. And we're going to put it on it while they're hot, and it's going to melt on there and it's going to drizzle down and just be so good. So give me a few minutes. Let me get these baked and we'll be back, make that glaze, and then we'll try them out, okay? Hey y'all, we're back. I just took the orange rolls out of the oven. I'm going to show you what they'll look like. This is a hot pan. Oh, they're so pretty. They're golden brown. You can smell the orange coming from them. So we're going to make our glaze. So let's scoot that over a little bit and let's get started. So I want a cup of powdered sugar, confectioner sugar, whatever you call it. I've got a tablespoon of orange marmalade. Sure, all this orange biscuits, right? A pinch of salt just to offset all the sweetness. And we're going to stir this together. I've got 3 tablespoons of powdered sugar. I'm sorry, orange juice. So I'm going to start with about 2 and see how far that gets us. You don't want it too thin, but you don't want it too thick either. Hang on, I'm missing something. Oh, yes, I am. A tablespoon of melted butter. I told you there was butter in this recipe. And we're going to put the melted butter in. Because butter makes everything better, right? Now, let's stir it together. You see those little flecks of the orange? And I think that's just the right consistency. Can you see that real good? So we use 2 tablespoons. Let me check my measure. Yep, 2 tablespoons. Now, we don't need this whisk any longer. So, we'll get ready to get it out of our way. We're going to pull this back up here without getting burned. Ow! When you melt your butter, you want to let it cool slightly. Now, it was in the microwave, but I had let it cool a little bit. It been in there about 3 minutes, so it was cold enough. So let's just start drizzling it on here. Looky there. I like to put it on when they're warm, but if you want, you can put it on, let them cool a little bit, and then put it on there, or wait till they're completely cooled, or put it on warm like I'm doing. Now I'm taking my offset spatula, and I'm just spreading it out. These look so pretty. Oh. Is that not a beautiful pan of orange rolls? So let's get one out, what do you say, and try it. Let me get a little plate. Get a little plate and get a little spatula to get them out with. So, ooh, let's get this one right here. Let's give it a taste. What do you say? And it's soft. Look, no effort at all. And I just went right through it. Oh yeah, it's so good. All I need now is a good cup of coffee to go with it. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope you liked this video. Please like and subscribe and share my videos. I would certainly appreciate it. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you again soon.